Okay, so I'm making this video to show how to pull and push resources to a GitHub repository using command prompt and Visual Studio Code. Okay, so first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up command prompt. And you very well could have your folder on your desktop or something like that, and all you'd have to do is cd desktop and then whatever the folder is called. But for this example, mine is on my D drive, and it's located inside this folder called GitHub. So I'm going to do GitHub, and then I'm going to do the repository name, and then it should put me right into the repository. So now that I'm here, let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay, sure, that kind of helped. Well, anyway, now that I'm here, I am going, the first thing I'm going to do before I start anything else is normally I do git status. But normally it always tells me that I'm up to date. So what I'm going to do is do a git pull just in case there's anything that has been worked on that I don't have yet. So I'm going to do a git pull. Okay. Luckily, I did one earlier today, so everything is up to date. Otherwise, it would show you all of the information that I just pulled. So that's step number one before we do anything at all. So then we're going to go ahead and let's just say we go into the car pack and we mess with, let's just say we mess with this car, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just very simply going to change this 5 to a 6. Very simple, shouldn't change how the car drives at all. Just going to do this as an example. Okay, so first I'm going to show you how to do it in command prompt. Being that we're already in the repository, so if you're not here in your repository, go back and get back into the repository by any means necessary. However you do it, just get back to this step. That being said, now I am definitely going to do a git status. And then now you can see that I have modified that car pack file. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do git add, and then I'm going to do the asterisk so that it adds everything. We're lucky that there's only one thing right now, but I've done things where I pushed updates where it said modified and there's like 200 fucking things. So that being said, just do the asterisk and you will do all of them so you don't have to type them in individually. So now that I did a git add, I'm also going to do another git status, and then now it should be green. Now that it's green, that means it's good to be, it's staged, or, well, yeah, let's just say that, it's staged, right? So now we're going to commit the file. We're going to git commit -m test for video. I'm just going to do test. Okay, we're going to do that. Hit enter, and then we do git push. Now, after that, it should say, you know, main, and then just in case, just to be 100% sure, let's just do another git status. And now that it says up to date with origin main, you now know how to update and push through command prompt. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into this file, and I'm just going to go down to this random car, one of the newer ones, probably the same one, I can't remember. Yep, definitely is. And just for the sake of it, I'm going to change it back to a 5 because we're going to say I didn't like that tune and I wanted to fix it back. So now we're going to do this in Visual Studio Code. So normally we also have our vehicle names pulled up. I mean, that's not absolutely necessary for this step, but it is something that I always have open as my vehicle name's Lua. So what I'm going to do is now that I've edited this and I like the way it is, I'm going to close this file. And the reason that I have this open is so that when I close that file, it doesn't close the whole thing. It still stays open, you know, whatever. Even if I did close this, it would still stay open, but I just have it here just in case. So that being said, you see this giant commit here, but we're not going to, just like before we did git commit or wherever, git commit, we're not going to do that yet. We don't want to commit just yet because we still have to do, you know, the polling and all that stuff. Let's pretend like we didn't do any of this. We're all going to do it from here now. So what I always do when I make a change is I hit commit and sync, because what it does is it pushes and polls everything. So it polls first, then pushes your update. So I'm also going to do this test 2. I just hit this right here, hit save, and then it should go through. But that's mainly, so the reason, if you come up to this thing that has merge branch with, there's conflicts and this and that, that's probably because you skipped the first step, which I told you to do, which was open command prompt and do a git pull. This is the first thing you want to do before you do anything. So now we're going to start over. So this is what we would do, right? We would go to the file. We would do git pull. And then once it gives us the thing or says that we're up to date, we can close this. Let's see, I want to change this car. Go into the handling. Let's say change this from a 1 to a 2. And then we would just go to the source control, hit commit and sync, name it test 3 just for the sake of the video, hit the check mark, and then everything should push and go through just fine. Visual Studio Code makes this process a million times easier, but if you don't do a pull first, it can cause some issues. Now, I'm not saying that it won't work. I'm just saying you're going to have to do extra steps after the fact. If you don't want to do those extra steps, I 1000% recommend doing git pull in command prompt before you get started tuning. But that being said, I think that's the entire video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You know, why not? I don't have very many. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.